Breaking right now. Copycat Meghan Markle is facing another humiliation after it emerged that she has ripped off Pamela Anderson's cooking series in plain sight.
Why I didn't think of this, honestly. I'll admit when I miss something, and I missed this, and I absolutely believe this theory that's dropping today that is attempting to expose the real reason.
Let's get into it because this one is wild. If you've been keeping tabs on Pamela Anderson lately, you'll know she's not just that Baywatch icon we all remember. Nope. Pam has pulled off one of the most surprising reinventions in celebrity history. These days, she's all about stripped-back, earthy wellness vibes, cooking her own food in her rustic Vancouver Island kitchen, scribbling heartfelt memoirs, and selling sustainable goods wrapped in that raw, undone authenticity Instagram eats alive. So when Meghan Markle's shiny, polished project rolled out looking suspiciously similar, with seasonal recipes, muted earth-toned cookware, poetic one-liners about slowing down, Pamela's fans were the first to shout, "Hold on, haven't we seen this before?" The deja vu was impossible to ignore.
But I'm just saying that Pamela Anderson, I want you guys to see, she's authentic in this. Her. She's so transparent. She has established transparency with her audience.
And here's where it gets messy. Pamela didn't just hint at it, she went there. In an interview, she openly said she was flattered but also disappointed to see certain public figures copying her style without giving credit. She didn't have to drop Meghan's name. The subtext screamed it louder than royal trumpets. Within hours, gossip blogs filled in the blanks. Suddenly, Meghan's supposedly fresh brand wasn't innovative anymore. It was branded as a knockoff. And honestly, this wasn't her first time in the copycat hot seat. Remember her podcast Archetypes? Critics pointed out how it mirrored existing women's interview shows. Same themes, same glossy feminist branding. Or her Netflix docu-series Live to Lead, which felt uncomfortably similar to another philanthropic project. Meghan's usual defense? The great minds think alike card. But this time, different ballgame. Pamela Anderson isn't some random blogger or Twitter troll. This is Pamela Anderson, a pop culture heavyweight, someone who has rebuilt herself without royal connections or a PR army. And the timing couldn't be worse for Meghan. Her fresh Netflix first look deal is already being mocked as a watered-down downgrade from her massive $100 million deal. She needs her lifestyle brand to work to prove she can stand on her own. And Pamela's shade just cracked the foundation. The big question now, is Meghan actually creative or just flipping through other women's Pinterest boards and calling it inspiration?
The pictures which show so clearly that rip-off, copycat, whatever you want to call it, Meghan Markle has added again. But can you believe she's been so...
Here's the juiciest part. Pamela didn't even have to push hard for this story to catch fire. The internet was already side-eyeing Meghan's rollout. People whispered how every single product felt recycled. Her signature jam? Basically Etsy-level artisan spreads. The muted, linen-heavy aesthetic? A carbon copy of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop circa 2015. Even her launch photos? Fans swore they'd seen that same kitchen setup somewhere before. Of course, Meghan's camp scrambled. A source close to the Duchess, translation, her most loyal PR insider, told the press her brand was authentically her and that similarities were purely coincidence. But here's the problem. Coincidence doesn't explain why Meghan's promotional copy was caught echoing Pamela's cookbook and blog posts, nearly word for word. Oh yes, the receipts came out. Social media sleuths dug up screenshots, cached pages, dates, the works. They compared Meghan's polished captions to Pamela's old posts, and the overlap was undeniable. The internet wasn't buying the coincidence excuse.
How much of a ripoff did you feel like With Love Meghan was of your show, Pamela's Cooking with Love? There were articles saying that these two shows were very similar.
One, I didn't.
You did not, on a scale from 1 to 10, on 1.
No,
you did not see any similarities.
No, I didn't really look, but I mean,
yeah.
I didn't invent cooking shows or
yes.
shows, so I mean,
yes.
She's just doing her.
Meanwhile, Pamela played it flawlessly. Instead of lashing out, she delivered that cool, PR-savvy response only a true media veteran could. She said she was happy to inspire, but she also made it clear she was protective of the work she had built from the ground up. And that little phrase? A direct dagger. Because Meghan's critics have always accused her of selling a manufactured authenticity, curated in a Montecito bubble, crafted by stylists, ghostwriters, and consultants. Pam was basically saying, I live this, I earned this, Meghan staged this. And for audiences already skeptical of Meghan and Harry's self-made narrative, that hit harder than anyone expected.
And money, I really think they have this messianic complex. Where they think, like, you know, putting out this content, even if it doesn't necessarily generate the kind of views, it's in the repertoire of the...
And here's where it snowballs. Meghan's competition isn't just Pamela. The celebrity lifestyle space is packed. Gwyneth's Goop, Reese Witherspoon's Draper James, Kourtney Kardashian's Poosh, even Stanley Tucci's food travel content. To stand out, you've got to be groundbreaking or so uniquely yourself that nobody can call you a copycat. But Meghan's brand? It feels like it could belong to anyone. And in branding, that's a fatal sin. Insiders are now whispering that Meghan's team floated the idea of reaching out to Pamela. Maybe propose a joint charity effort. Maybe invite her onto an A's Ever project to smooth things over. But guess what? Sources in Vancouver say Pamela has zero interest. To her, Meghan only calls people when she needs something. She doesn't want to be part of Meghan's damage control tour. Ouch. And if you think Meghan's loyal fan base is saving her this time, think again. Even diehard Sussex supporters on Twitter are struggling. A few tried the old Pam's just jealous excuse, but it flopped. Pamela's brand is thriving, she's respected in activist circles, and her Netflix doc got rave reviews. If anything, Meghan is the one who needs Pamela, not the other way around.
Cooking with Love, Meghan's love from Meghan, you know, it's Pamela's came out in October 24.
And here's where it gets absolutely wild. This isn't just about jam jars and Instagram captions anymore. Pamela's little flattered but disappointed line blew up, and Meghan's PR machine went into full panic mode. We're talking emergency Zoom calls with brand consultants, whispered damage control strategies, urgent meetings with As Ever's creative director. Their top question, just how much of their content could be seen as, well, borrowed? Because let's be real, inspiration is one thing, but when social media sleuths are posting side-by-side comparisons that scream copy-paste, it starts looking like plagiarism dressed up in pastel linen. Meanwhile, while Meghan's camp scrambled, Pamela did the exact opposite of panicking. She leaned into the drama with that effortless, seasoned calm of someone who knows she holds all the cards. The very next morning, she posted an Instagram carousel, standing in her sunlit kitchen, hair messy, apron dusted with flour, pouring homemade jam into jars. The caption? Original since 1967. A total mic drop. She didn't tag Meghan. She didn't even hint directly, but fans knew exactly who it was for. The comment section exploded. Say it louder, Pam. We know who you mean. Thousands of likes, thousands of comments, and even Meghan's usual defenders kept suspiciously quiet. Because really, how do you spin that without looking guilty? Then, as if that wasn't enough, Pamela doubled down with a late-night talk show appearance. The host brought up the whole imitation is the sincerest form of flattery cliché. And with that trademark twinkle in her eye, Pamela shot back, well, sometimes it's flattery. Other times it's just lazy. The audience roared. The clip went viral. Suddenly, this wasn't just a brand tiff, it had become a full-blown cultural moment. And here's the nightmare for Meghan. Her team hates cultural moments they don't control. The more they tried to clarify her originality, the worse it got. First came an official As Ever statement insisting the brand was drawn from Meghan's personal journey and unique perspective. But in the press release, there was a photo of Meghan holding a ceramic mug, identical to one Pamela had sold on her website 2 years earlier. Within hours, Twitter had the side-by-side comparisons plastered everywhere. It screamed, "We tried to fix it but made it worse." And all of this chaos couldn't have come at a worse time. Meghan's downgraded Netflix deal is already hanging over her like a thundercloud. Everyone in Hollywood knows a first-look deal isn't a crown jewel. It's the industry's version of, we'll keep your number, don't expect a ring. Without that guaranteed $100 million, Meghan's future hinges on As Ever succeeding, which makes Pamela's accusation not just petty gossip but a potential revenue killer. Here's where it turns even uglier. Word on the street is Pamela might not be the only celeb side-eyeing Meghan's inspiration. An LA gossip columnist claims a couple of other big lifestyle names have noticed suspicious overlaps too. So far, Pamela's just the only one bold enough to call it out. But we all know Hollywood. Once one person piles on, others follow. If another star echoes Pamela, Meghan risks being branded as the lifestyle magpie, building her empire out of other people's nests. That kind of label sticks. And in this industry, once you're seen as unoriginal, good luck shaking it. Of course, Meghan isn't just sitting back. The whispers say she's plotting a full-scale visibility blitz. glossy magazine spreads, big-name interviews, maybe even a documentary short to reveal the true origins of As Ever. The aim? Rebrand herself as the misunderstood creative whose work is being unfairly compared. But here's the catch. Every PR expert says the optics are against her. Pamela isn't some bitter ex-partner or anonymous troll. She's a beloved cultural survivor, someone who reinvented herself authentically, without palaces or pity parties. If the public has to choose sides, who do you think they'll back? The woman selling stripped-down sincerity, or the Duchess accused of copying mood boards? Meanwhile, Pamela's basking in the glow. Sales of her lifestyle products reportedly spiked the second this drama broke. Her team's hinting she has new projects coming in the same lane Meghan's playing in. Maybe it's true, maybe it's trolling, but either way, it's working. Hollywood producers are even cracking jokes. At a recent pitch meeting, when someone described a coastal kitchen aesthetic, an exec smirked and said, "Cool, so Pamela's version or Meghan's knockoff?" Brutal. And here's Meghan's real fear. Even if she weathers this storm, the copycat label could haunt her. Every new project will be scrutinized to see if it resembles someone else's. Brands don't like risk, and no company wants to link itself to whispers of celebrity plagiarism. The irony? Meghan probably never thought Pamela Anderson was even on her radar. But that's Hollywood for you. Underestimate someone, and they'll outshine you before you can draft your rebuttal. Because let's be honest, Meghan's used to competing with Kate Middleton for public affection. But tangling with Pamela Anderson? That's a whole different beast. Pamela has lived the tabloid circus, been underestimated, been torn down, and still come out stronger. She knows how to throw shade with a smile, land a punch without lifting a finger. Meghan, she's still learning how to play without the safety net of royal intrigue. And in this round, Pamela's holding all the narrative cards. So here's the brutal truth. Unless Meghan pulls off something so original, so undeniably hers, that even the snarkiest gossip blogger has to admit she nailed it, this copycat tag is going to stick. And in celebrity branding, that's the one accessory you can't just quietly swap out. Pamela, on the other hand, walks away stronger, proof that her style is so influential even a duchess wants to replicate it. And she gets the last laugh, smiling while Meghan scrambles. Because this feud? It's not just gossip. It's a full-blown case study in how one perfectly timed swipe from a savvy veteran can unravel a duchess's carefully built empire. And mark my words, this is far from over. Is far